Hey everybody, this is Beelit, and this is going to be a Naruto Shippuden Ultimate Ninja Storm 3 discussion. And I'd like to point out, discussion does not mean gameplay, so you are seeing Naruto Shippuden Ultimate Ninja Storm Generations. I am playing against a good friend of mine, CONMYSTRO, who, he tries his best, but he's just not as good at the game as I am, and it's nothing against him, he's just not able to get to my level. Anyway, I wanted to make a few remarks on what we know so far and kind of do a general impressions for where we are right now. Just recently, I think it was yesterday or the day before, a new trailer was released for Naruto Shippuden Ultimate Ninja Storm 3, and it showed off the boss battle of the Nine-Tailed Fox, the first boss battle that we've seen so far. It was also in the scan. It shows the third Hokage fighting against the QB, and we see that the QB has the Sharingan Eye on, which is nice. I'm glad that they remembered to put that touch in there. And in this boss battle sequence, it seems like the third Hokage is jumping from rooftop to rooftop. It seems like it's a very good boss battle sequence, and, of course, we knew that it's going to be good. CyberConnect 2 is great when it comes to these things. The gameplay is really the biggest question. But the trailer was amazing. It was absolutely amazing. The fire attacks on the Fox they were beautiful. The whole thing just looked absolutely amazing. And then we saw the fourth Hokage fight against Masked Man, and we saw a little cutscene in there, which was awesome, by the way. But again, this is standard. CyberConnect 2 is good with this. This is where CyberConnect 2 shines. They capture those moments that are very important, and they amplify them. They just add this drama to them, and that's what they do. And they're always successful at it. The biggest thing that we're going to be thinking about, the biggest thing that people are going to be talking about that's important to the game, is the actual gameplay of it. That's really the only question with this game comes up, is how is it going to play? Is it going to be a good gameplay experience? We all know the story is going to be awesome, but it's not just about the story. So before we get into that, I want to say that I hope that the story starts at that fight with the QB. I hope that it starts there, and I hope that we see third Hokage fighting, and I hope that we see the fourth Hokage fight against the Masked Man. I hope that that is all the initial sequence, because I want the story, personally, I want the story to start in order. I want it to be told in the order that it was supposed to be, what actually happened. I want to be there from the beginning. Don't jump from time to time and tell me little bits and pieces. I want to see the whole thing from the beginning, the whole truth from the very beginning. And that's one of the best things about Naruto, is that you didn't know everything. And then you slowly start learning it, and now that we have all the pieces, I want to see the pieces together. I want to see what that story is, from the very beginning to the very end in sequence, without any, shadows, in the background, just the whole truth. And I hope that they do that, because I will be really impressed to see that, and I think that it would add a really good part to the story that we haven't seen before. We haven't seen anything start from the very beginning. So now that that's out of the way, the actual gameplay. We don't know much about the actual gameplay, the real fighting, the character-to-character, player-to-player thing. We don't know how that's going to work, but we do know that there are 5 sub-bars, or 5 subs now in the sub-bar, and the sub-bar is returning. Now, there is an issue, in my opinion, with the sub system that was introduced in Generations. I don't think that the sub-bar is necessarily bad. I just don't think that it was implemented correctly. I think that there are too many things that were left unchecked, and because of that, we have a lot of abuses of the game. The sub-bar just feels like it's not enough. It feels like it just won't help you the way that it needs to help you. So I think that there are a lot of tweaks that need to be done for the sub-bar, and I'm worried that since we haven't waited very long for this game, since this game is just a year away from the release of Generations, I'm worried that they haven't changed anything. I'm worried that we're still going to have the same abusive mechanics that we have in Generations. And the worst part is we may have even more because we're going to have even more characters put in there. Not a ton of new characters, but we will have new characters. And I worry that we're going to have even worse abuses. And there needs to be character balance in that sense. There needs to be some kind of balance of the substitution system. It just feels like they didn't do enough and they didn't think things through. So I really want to see some gameplay coming soon. I want to see uh, what changes they've made. Uh, we're still a long way from that, in all likelihood. We're still probably going to be waiting for that for a while, but I think that that's the most important thing at this point. Everybody knows the boss battles are going to be great. Everyone knows the story mode is going to be up to par with what they've done before, and it's probably going to be better because they have more to work with now. But the thing that I'm most concerned about is the gameplay because that's you go through the story mode. How many times do you go through the story mode? Once. You don't just constantly play the story mode over and over. So that experience that you're getting from the story mode only happens one time. So the biggest focus, the most replay that you're going to get out of the game is the player to player matches, the actual fighting system of the game. And I think that that's what they need to really rework because they've created a game that I don't think was ever meant to be taken with any kind of seriousness. But when people play it, they want to have at least a fair fighting experience. They don't want to feel like they're always at this huge disadvantage. People like these characters and they like having the ability to play as these characters and see visceral attacks and things like that, but then they get screwed out of it because of the, I guess you could say, sloppy mechanics of the game. I could go into saying everything that I think is wrong with the game, but I'm not going to do that. It would take way too long, and I'd probably start to sound like a whining little 4-year-old. But I think that the biggest thing to look at now is what the gameplay is going to be. Boss battles were excellent. If you haven't seen the trailer, I'll have a link in the description. Probably have an annotation there as well where you can see it. Go and check it out. If you like Naruto, you owe it to yourself to check it out. So far, I think it's going to be pretty good. So yeah, my general impressions, the boss battles are going to be great. The only thing to look at for Storm 3 is the actual gameplay. That's the only thing that has any question. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I will be doing updates later on as more relevant content comes out. I'll discuss it and put my 2 cents in and ask for your 2 cents as well, so I can figure out what you guys want and you guys can see what everybody else is wanting. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, I would greatly appreciate it if you would support it with a like or a favorite, or if you share it however you feel necessary. I'd be very appreciative. So I will see you guys next time. Thanks for watching.
この力で平和を実現してみせる。